head coach of the men's basketball team. Brian Jones is with us. Brian, thanks for stopping by the old set today.
Well, thanks for having me. I think it's the first time I've been here all year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good to be here.
Yeah, nice to be here. Nice to see you here. You've had a couple of tough ones at home and another tough one coming up on Saturday. And we were talking before this about, is this a must-win thing this early in the season?
I think so. I think so. One, because it's a home game, and two, it's just to get our rhythm going. I don't really like to put that on to me a younger team. With a lot of new faces going through this for the first time. But I feel it is. And we challenged our guys after the game. We let them know we felt that's where we were at. And I expect our guys to totally respond and have a great work week of practice and be ready to compete on Saturday.
You look at the previous two games, obviously you and the team took it hard to lose two at home the way you did. Certainly a last-second shot to one of the league's best players on Thursday, and a Portland State team that's really athletic. But there were also positive notes that you saw in that game, or in those games, that you can say, hey, well, we're still doing this well. We just need to get better at a few other things along the way.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is the effort there. That's what I've been extremely intrigued and honestly, after watching the games, one thing we need to get better, we know that, and that's rebounding. And it's not just the bigs, it's the guards too. Every one of those guys at their positions gave up some easy baskets on the backboards. Offensively, I thought we had great pace to us, great rhythm. We shot it at a high rate. We took care of the basketball. But defensively, we are guarding the initial action very well. But you got to be able to finish a play with a stop, and that's a defensive rebound. That's a mindset. It's the techniques there. We're rebounding, we're checking out, we're doing all things, but you still have to go get the ball with two hands and go get the ball in traffic. So, but is the effort there? Yes, it's there. Our guys fly around, they play hard. But once you start losing effort, you got bigger problems.
Against Sacramento State, I thought it was kind of encouraging to see Carson Shanks offensively. Is he one of those guys who could turn into one of the better big guys in the Big Sky?
I see it happening if he continues to me, it's his growth will be based on his strength and conditioning. He's got a super skill set and his just patience with himself. Like most young big people, they're so hard on themselves. They got to give themselves a chance to grow, to play through mistakes. And just like anything, he's going to have some ups and downs. I thought for the weekend he was pretty strong offensively. We got to challenge him to be better on the backboards defensively, and he'll be willing to do that. But we need him to show what he's shown us so we can have an inside-outside look. Those are the good teams in this league that give you both looks, a Montana, a Weber, an Eastern Washington. They give you a perimeter look, but also they got a low post look, and that's what we're going to try to continue to develop.
He seemed to be the most positive thing that when I talk to people about it is they came out with kind of wowed by his performance and his potential. Huh?
Yeah, it's there. Again, sitting a year and a half off, he's still getting his rhythm. He's, 5 games in? So, yeah, I mean, I've been very pleased with him, but some aspects, but the other things as a coach, we got to challenge him because he's capable of doing better, but it's still a process. I think what we've seen from an offense production standpoint is definitely what he can give us. I think he can give us more, but I know he can give us a better consistent effort on the backboards.
You talked about guarding that first action defensively real well. One of the things I notice about this team is you got a lot of guys that are just good guys in and around the court, but they're naturally quiet. They're not natural talkers, and communicating and talking is so important in defense, especially as the possession goes on, don't you think?
It is, and especially in the second half where we've had our lulls. We're away from the bench where the bench is yelling at them, where the coaches are yelling at them, and let them know where they need to be if they relax mentally. That's where they have to grow. We have a couple guys where this team, when Terrell is off the floor, and where he got into foul trouble Saturday afternoon, who is the guy to bring that energy? I think Q can do it, but it can't just be him. It has to be multiple guys. So that's where this team, again, they're great kids. We love coaching them. You love to be around them, but they have to get out of their comfort zone with their voices.
Talk about Northern Colorado for a second, your upcoming opponent on Saturday.
Well, they're predicted to be a fairly upper tier team. Got a lot of pieces back from last year's team. They lose Barden, who was their undersized 4, but everybody else is a shooter. But they replaced that shooter with an Air Force transfer who's just as talented, just as tall. They have, again, great guard play coming back in this building. Our guards have been tested so much early in this league play, and it's just another team that can beat you. They got 2 guys who can beat you because they're that good offensively.
Is anybody else in this league as young as you guys?
I think Idaho State's got a lot of new faces. You know, the thing about with our team, we're young from this aspect. They're young playing together. We got some juniors, but they're young playing together. The teams we saw this last weekend in Portland State and Sac State, they've been together for quite a while. They trust one another. They have that rhythm with one another. So I think that's why you're seeing the success you saw from those two teams.
Very nice to have you on. Appreciate it, and best
Thanks.
of luck on Saturday, okay? Coach Brian Jones with the UND men's basketball team.